Hi everybody, it's your buddy Brad here, and today we are going to look at something that I am calling ducky hunting, a new breed. Um, Duckies are kind of a popular flame fractal concept, base shape. There's a lot of ways people can make them. Most popular are using scope, which is it's kind of designed to make duckies, and also Glinsims, the 1, 2, and 3s uh, are good for making duckies as well. Also Glinia. Um, but today I'm going to look at a new way or a new breed of getting duckies. Excuse me. So here's one example image. Here's another example. And then here's another one. And what I mean by duckies is it's really how, if you see how, like this part here is lining up with this part here, how it kind of is the inverse of it. And it kind of keeps on going. So like this part here goes to here, and well, this part here kind of goes here, kind of mirrors each other over and over and over again. And that is, at least to my best knowledge, that is what a ducky is, and so that's what I'm calling it. If I'm wrong, please let me know. So let's go ahead and jump into JWildfire. We're going to do a new from scratch. So let me set up a couple more things here. One moment. Okay, there we go. I got my little hotkey thing and my magnifier going here. Sorry about that. So we did a new from scratch, and we're going to go to first add. We have linear. This is going to be the one that does pretty much all the heavy lifting here. So we're going to start off with a linear, and we're going to come down and select pre-recip. Let's set that to 1. We're going to scroll down here, and then we're going to select post trig. We're going to select post trig and set that to 1. And right now we're going to just set everything here under post trig to 0. So for pre-recip, we want the reciprocal power set to 1, everything else 0 for right now. Then we want to actually make crop it just to a circle. So we are going to go to post circle crop, set that to 1. And then we're going to come down here, because if you don't do this part, we'll be left with a little dot, and we don't want that. So here we want post smart crop. Let's set that to 1. I'm going to set the radius to 0. Radius to 0. Scroll down, and we're going to make the pop mode 2. This is Very cool, handy, nifty tip by that Whitaker Courtney found. And so next, so here if we just do add a pre-blur, you see now, let me see if I can get a different. Why can I not get? Okay, there we go. Now you see how we just have kind of a circle here. Um, so next, let's go ahead and just get rid of this. Next, we're going to click Add, and we are going to get a inversion. Right here, inversion. And we are going to go to the I mode here. Right now it's set to 0. I'm going to set that to 2. And so basically inversion is kind of with the default shape is spherical, but what we want is, since we already have our circle created by the first transform, this one is just going to be on the outside. I'll show you what I mean. So let's go back to our first transform. We're going to keep reciprocal power 1. This is probably the most important. We want square root pal. I'm going to set that to 1. And should we do something? Let's think. 1, 1, 1, 1. So we're going to rotate this. So we have reciprocal power set to 1, square root 1. Let's go ahead and set a sine h power to 1. There we go. That's what I was missing. So we have reciprocal power 1, square root power 1, a sine h power 1. And right away, this is like the Duckie shapes that we are going for here. Make this a little bigger. Bring it over to the left some. We want to try to get this gap here as close as possible. That looks good. That looks good. Let's see, I have it set up. Okay, let's do a reset. We're going to rotate it to 45. Move this over to 0.5. And pretty much that is our base. This is our base. This is a good base to start working off of. And here, I will go ahead and actually save this. I'm going to save it to my guest and share the link. So now I have that. So this is our base. And so sometimes if you want to fill in the hole, you can also, I'm going to duplicate this inversion. I'm going to set the scale. Let's start setting it kind of high. Let's try 40. And we also want to lower the weight on it. Also changing the colors here some. And you see right now that that fills in this open spot. But there's also other ways of filling in the open spot. So if we go back here, we can use the ZX add or ZY add. This is where the new duckies come in, where you can get some really cool shapes really easily. Something like this. This is cool. You don't want to move it too much. You want to move it nice and slow. And you see now, instead of it being kind of straight for the most part, now you see it has added some a little bit more interest with the jagged lines and stuff. Let me see something here. Okay. And now the reason we have the post trig is we can actually go ahead. Let's go ahead and clear out all the reset all the values here. In case you didn't know, it, in the drop downs here, if you double click, it resets it to the default value. So I'm going to reset everything here. And then we're going to come down here to the post trig and do the same thing. We're going to set this to 0, 1, square root power, and the A sin H. And it's kind of the same, but it's also a little different. Acts just a little differently. especially when moving stuff around. You can get, I find more symmetrical shapes with the doing post trig, but then we can also use like cosine power. And also, you can say using the reciprocal power, you can use the log divide, and that gives us even more new Duckie possibilities. Then you can also use other uh, options here with a tan. It may still look kind of similar, but there's still a little bit of a difference to them. You just have to play around with it. So now, like I said, we have the center, and so if you can fill that in really quick, really easily, at least for most of it. That is actually pretty much it. So keep trying, try a whole bunch of different options. If you do make something with this tutorial, please let me know. I would love to see what you make with it. If you have if you need any help, any advice, also please feel free to reach out to me. And I'd be more than happy to answer your questions. Until next time, bye.